Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Show. Welcome to the midst of game week number 44 in the Championship. And we are covering Brentford versus Preston. Get your predictions in the comments. Get those thumbs up coming as well, wherever you're watching from. This is potentially the most influential game of this game round. Brentford looking to close up the gap. We'll go over what happened last night, but West Brom just managing to keep themselves away from trouble a little bit yesterday with that draw. However, a Brentford win tonight, and they are 1 point off West Brom in third place, chasing second. Remember, anything less and all of Leeds is going to start to get very, very excited about the possibilities of securing promotion tomorrow night at home to Barnsley. As ever, we are going to be on for the pre-match, half-time, and after the game as well. There are the rough times. Just make sure you come and find me and all the other people in the chat. Great debate here. So pre-match, that's obviously right now. Half-time as well, we will be here. And full-time. And the full-times have been a lot of fun with the other games going on. We've stayed on for a while, and Jeff stellinged it just a little bit. Right, let's see what happened last night and see how that affects everything, particularly with a view to this game. That West Brom 0, Fulham 0. A big scoreline there. Fulham pretty much playoffs now. West Brom still in their hands. That's not the end of the world. Big win for Borough at Reading. I make them pretty much safe now. Wigan 8, Hull 0. Quite the result for Wigan. Indeed, incredible stuff as they go for the greatest escape. Cardiff 2, Derby 1. Derby shooting themselves in the foot with a couple of mistakes there last night, and shooting themselves in the foot big style. Now, I think that's 3 defeats in a row for the Rams. Luton 1, QPR 1. Luton could not hold on to the lead there. And even though they're not losing, is that a missed opportunity? Although we do go into the seismic Hull versus Luton game at the weekend. Anyway, more of that as we go. Millwall 1, Blackburn 0. Big result for Millwall as well. They're on the edges of it. Sheffield Wednesday 0. Huddersfield 0. Huddersfield just trying to irk their way to survival. Here is what it did to your league table. So there are Brentford tucked in third, West Brom. That's not the end of the world, like I keep saying. 2 more wins and West Brom are up. It's in their hands still, which is the main thing you want in these runnings. Cardiff, good day for them. They're 2 points clear, but look at Millwall. They're now wedged in there. 9 points in the last 4 for the Lions, looking good. Derby have tailed off now, 6 points away. Looks like playoffs gone for Derby, given the goal difference, which means that for Preston in this game today, they are still in the race. Any kind of win there is going to put them back into 7th place. It's a big game for them. Blackburn are now out of it. Their season is over. Blackburn on the beach. Let's have a look. And you can see, look at Wigan, unbelievable stuff. 57 points now. Take 12 off, 45. Look at the goal difference that started -7 and ended up +1 last night. They are on the verge, and I believe their next game, is it against Charlton? I think it's a big one down the bottom anyway. Reading, they're on the beach. They're not going anywhere. Sheffield Wednesday, 11 points. The gap now after 4 wins in 2. Is that enough to weather a possible FFP if they're found guilty? QPR on the beach. They are safe. Middlesbrough, so close to being safe there. 1 point, assuming Barnsley don't get anything more than a draw tomorrow night. Borough only need a point off the last 2. Well done, Neil Warnock. He's got those 3 wins nice and quickly. Birmingham are not safe, but they have a game tonight, which we'll talk about. Huddersfield still wedged in there. Remember, Huddersfield next game against West Brom. And then we get this titanic battle now because we know we've got Hull and Luton and Charlton and Wigan coming up. Barnsley, remember, at the bottom there, have hard fixtures for the last 3 games. Here are tonight's games. Brentford, Preston really tells us a lot about the top. Bristol City win, which would be the 3rd win in a row under Dean Holden. They're in the playoff picture. Both Birmingham and Charlton fighting to get away from the bottom. Charlton more so. Forest looking to confirm that playoff position. Swansea, can they get themselves back into it? So much good stuff tonight. Keep your comments coming in. We'll have a look at them in just a moment. Let's have a look at tonight's game. Brentford versus Preston. In for goal. 60% chance for Brentford. Betfair even higher. All the money. 7 wins in a row on Brentford there. 66%. A chance. 13% and 16% for Preston, who traditionally this season have been better at home than they have been away. And there's also a bit of a sense that they've been flat track bullies, better against teams they should be beating rather than when they're punching upwards. Here's Brentford's last 10. Unbelievable. Look at that. 7 wins in a row. And only 2 goals conceded in those games as well. Brilliant run. They're going to need a perfect 10. They could still get the perfect 10. And now we know 2 wins for West Brom and the perfect 10 is not good enough to keep Brentford up. What is for sure, they need to win tonight, else things start to move out of their hands and it starts to look like playoffs for Brentford. They've just got to keep it up. Here is Preston's last 10. Not impressive. And when you look, the 2 wins came against Hull and Sheffield Wednesday, who have been out of form teams in this period, haven't they? Especially Hull. Not good at all. 5 defeats in 6 in there as well. Games against the teams higher up. Well, there's a defeat to West Brom, a defeat to Fulham, a defeat to playoff Cardiff, a defeat to outside the playoffs Derby, a draw against Forest. They have not fared well. Right, here are the facts. Let's hope I've got these right. If Brentford win, there will be your table. Brentford will be tucked in 1 point behind West Brom in 2nd place, which will mean Leeds will need 4 points from 3 games for promotion to guarantee it. West Brom will need 6 points from 2 games for promotion. And then that would leave Brentford just leading another 3 points to guarantee 3rd place and a playoff tie at the moment against Cardiff, although it could be more for Brentford. If Brentford draw, this is where it starts getting excited in Yorkshire and in the West Midlands. So a Brentford draw would drop them in on 79 points there. So you get a 2-point gap 1st to 2nd and a 3-point gap 2nd to 3rd. That would mean Leeds would need 2 points to guarantee promotion. Brentford's maximum upside would only be 85. So we all know that would mean a Brentford draw and a Leeds win tomorrow night. Leeds are in the Premier League tomorrow night. West Brom would then also only need 4 points from their last 2 games against Huddersfield and QPR. Brentford would then need 5 points themselves to guarantee that 3rd place slot. And finally, the scenario that maybe all of West Bromwich and Leeds want, but Brentford don't. If Brentford lose tonight, obviously they do not move, then Leeds would need 1 point. Brentford's maximum upside would then be 84 points. Leeds would need 1 point from 3 games to be promoted. So a Brentford defeat tonight pretty much guarantees Leeds promotion, unless we get the Devon lock of all Devon locks. Not going to happen. West Brom, however, would only then need 3 points themselves. Basically, Brentford can keep the automatic race going, but it all depends on them winning tonight. If Brentford lose, then they do need to win both of their last games, as you can see there, in order to guarantee a playoff tie. I think to avoid Nottingham Forest is probably what Brentford would want to do. I think they'd be happy to let Fulham take that and go against Cardiff, or could possibly be Millwall or Preston tonight. Who knows in those playoffs. Let's have a look at the teams and then we will come to your comments. Thomas Frank's playing this really nicely, isn't he? He's just doing little tweaks each game. Marcondes seems to have played his way in. Dalsgaard got a rest in the last game. De Silva gets a rest tonight. So he's trying different permutations of the three in midfield, and they're all being as effective as the other, to be honest. So your team in goal: Raya, Dalsgaard, Janssen, Pinnock, Henry across the back. You would think if those five stay fit, that would be the back five in every playoff game if Brentford have to go that way. The midfield: Norgard will sit. I like this actually because he's wearing 6 and Jensen's wearing 8. So Norgard will be a number 6. Jensen will be a number 8, rotating with Marcondes. They'll try and create. And then the fabled front three: Mbuemo, inverted ringer coming in off the right; Ollie Watkins, converted winger, playing down the middle; and the brilliant Saeed Benrahma on sensational form. Benrahma and Hernandez since lockdown, just in frankly ridiculous form, both of them. So Brentford looking very, very stable. 7 wins on the trot. Little tweaks is all they get, in no major personnel out. Looking strong, I would say. Now, I don't think Infogol have any idea what Alex Neil is going to do here, and I would be very surprised if they line up in that shape. That said, I don't know what he's going to do either. Alex Neil all season has moved players around, centre-backs to full-backs, particularly his deep-line midfielders. We've seen Johnson and Gallagher play either in the 3 off the front or in the double pivot. I've got no idea what he's going to do. We've seen Barkhausen and Maguire both play up front, but neither of them are really strikers. We've seen them both play off the front. Neil is traditionally a 4-2-3-1 manager, but I think what Infogol are struggling with there, and what I'm certainly struggling with, is which one, if anyone, of those 5 names strung along the back there would be a midfielder there if it's not going to be a 3 at the back. Look, Infogol could have it right, and that could be a 3 at the back, but I'm not sure myself. I think maybe one of the centre halves might be playing as a deep central midfielder. Although that said, there's 3 fullbacks there in that back 5 as well. Anyway, Declan Rudd in goal. If Infogol are right, Hughes and Rafferty will be fullbacks. We'd hope wingbacks for the spectacle of the game, with Bauer, Story, and Fisher, who is traditionally a fullback. So who knows whether we have seen managers rotate fullbacks into centre midfield before. If it's a 4-2-3-1, I would think it might be Brown and Johnson as the double pivot. However, that leaves it very short on the 3, Ledson, Barkhausen, and again, who else goes in there? Look, maybe Infogol are right. That looks pretty defensive to me. There is creativity in there with Daniel Johnson, obviously, and Brown. Pace with Barkhausen and Maguire. No real orthodox striker there. So let's just keep our eyes on the Preston team shape there. Obviously, as well, there's no Ben Pearson in there or Paul Gallagher, who have been good players for Preston this season. Let's just have a look first 10 minutes and try and ascertain the team shape, and hope that whoever Sky have got summarising this one, who can actually see the whole pitch, helps us viewers out with that shape. Let's have a look at the benches. Brentford, he's not had any issues, has he? Other than what was the game where they were 1-0 down against Charlton, where they were chasing. But Thomas Frank has been able to just freshen things up in the second half there. On the bench, you'd think you could see Canos. You think you'd definitely see De Silva at some point. Joel Valencia has got in. Dervisoglu could release one of the front 3 if they're winning them. They're staying on if not. Fosu as well, the same. Ruslev did start the last game, didn't he? So lots of options there for Brentford. Very much a sense, though, that the first team is maybe other than Josh De Silva there are all on the pitch. And just a little nod to Ethan Pinnock. Look, there's Julian Jonvier there on the bench. Pinnock has played him out of this team very well. The Preston subs, and this is how Alex Neil, I suppose we should credit it, uses his squad, that we've seen most of them as first teamers this season, haven't we? Harrop, Gallagher most definitely is a very useful player with his experience. Stockley has been scoring the big forward. I'm surprised he's not in even as an outball, but maybe they want to use pace rather than size up the top there. Huntingdon, a good spare defender there. Sinclair and Nugent, very experienced. Bowden and Potts again with Alex Neil could appear anywhere in either the 2 deep positions or the 3 off the front positions in a 4-2-3-1. Look, this looks heavily in Brentford's favour, but it's the Championship, isn't it? It looks like if Infogol are right with this team shape, it looks like Preston are going to sit in the same way Stoke tried to do against Leeds and just make it very, very tight. But let's reserve judgment on that until we see the team shape. That said, I've never seen an Alex Neil team just sit behind the ball and not press and not tackle. But I'm very, very much thinking that Brentford are favourites in this one. Let's see what you guys say. Chris says, up the bees. He's always here. Welcome, Chris. Jamie, come on, Preston, do us a favour. Timothy is one of the guys that still think Brentford can catch West Brom. Could Huddersfield get a 0-0 out of West Brom? In which case, Brentford could do this, couldn't they? They do need the 3 wins, really, whatever happens, especially given West Brom. QPR at home, I think, on the last day. Time for Agent Pontus to deploy. Own goal, sending off, then you can come home. Yeah. Not sure we'll see that, but there we go. Logan says, come on, Preston. Josh says, come on, Preston. Mally says, evening, all you Preston fans. There we go. Nat says, come on, Brentford. There we go. Welcome to the Benjamin Bloom Show, says Mally. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. What is my score prediction? I think it could be Brentford by 2, to be honest. Having seen that lineup, look, it's the Championship. I'll always caveat everything with it's the Championship, but this does look like it could well go in Brentford's favour, doesn't it? Just quickly down the bottom there, support the channel by using Super Chat. When you type your comment, just hit the dollar button next to it. You can subscribe on Patreon. You can help out by hitting like, and please subscribe on YouTube. We are closing in 9,800 subscribers. Now it's gone up brilliantly these past few days or so. We're getting really close. If you tune in but you haven't subscribed, please do. Really helps the perception of the channel and might help my ability to persuade some sponsors in the future, let's just say. Josh says Brentford will have to settle for playoffs. Brentford can't stop us winning the title. Only Barnsley and Derby can. Yeah, it does very much look just like a race between Brentford and West Brom, which really, when you think about it, is a race between West Brom themselves. West Brom have just got to win 2 games now. It doesn't matter what anybody else does it? Logan says 1-1. Jay says 2-1 Brentford. Baggage Forever says we can only pray. Preston could do West Brom a huge favour here. Again, I would reiterate, in terms of Leeds getting up and getting it done with 2 games to go, this game matters, but really needs 4 points from 3 games, a win, a draw and a defeat when they've been winning 9 of the last 11. This shouldn't really matter for Leeds. That once that Pablo Hernandez goal went in, I think that was the moment, wasn't it? Chris says, a nice dull draw. That would do all the Leeds fans, wouldn't it? Jay says, it will be amusing when Brentford get max points and still don't go up. I think that's called Schadenfreude, Jay. Delighting in others' misfortune. But there we go. Hi to Jake in the chat. He says, here we go. Julian, as much as I want Preston to get something here, can only see a home win. I'm only seeing a home win, really, as well. And Brentford have been so consistent, haven't they? Just a bit of a machine recently. So Logan says 1-1. Evening to Lee. Jake says Ben is greater than Sky. I would love to be greater than Sky. I'd like their viewing figures, but we're building. We're doing good here. Massive for Leeds if Brentford draw or lose. Yeah, it is massive in respect of getting up tomorrow night. But, you know, Leeds can win 1, draw 1, and they're still up by the weekend, aren't they? Craig, as long as it is better than yesterday. Oh, and yes, the opposing goalie doesn't give Brentford a free goal. 3-1 to Brentford. Yeah, wasn't Wasn't the greatest game yesterday, but still fun. Debates about everything from XG to parachute payments. Don't start me. Don't start me on either of those things. It's how to get my blood pressure going, isn't it? Are we sending prayers for Matthias Pereira? Bless him. Got tapped on the head, Cole, by Michael Hector. Now, I know Michael Hector's a big guy, but that doesn't hurt. So there we go. Brilliant player, though, Pereira. I will say that. Alistair is here. Yes, we have a Preston fan. Unbelievable scenes. In a feed full of Leeds fans and Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham. And we do have a Preston fan. Welcome, Alistair. I'm a Preston fan, and I have this down as a loss for months. Losing Davies as well. I think it's season over. Yeah, Preston will be joining a few others on the beach with a defeat tonight. Craig says, come on then, Preston. A huge Leeds fan. My son is called Preston. There we go. How poetic if Preston get a result tonight. Nat says, Leeds going up from a jealous Wednesday fan. Michael says 9:30 in the morning. They're hoping for a Brentford loss or draw to help Leedsies. There we go. Chris says 2-0 Bees. Jaggy says, come on, Preston. Radaby Lee says, always like Preston 3-2. Goodness me. That'd be good for the heart rate, wouldn't it? A 3-2 here. Wolf says, along with supporters of Millwall, Cardiff, Swansea, Derby, Bristol, and I suppose Blackburn, we stand with the Bees. There we go. In terms of the playoff race there, it does affect more teams, Preston winning than Brentford winning, I think. Does Brentford winning only affects one, well, I'm going to say two teams. Brentford winning only really affects West Brom, doesn't it, at the moment, and maybe Fulham in terms of the playoff position, whereas Preston winning, like Wolf says, does affect all of those teams. Josh says, I don't think Brentford will catch West Brom, never mind Leeds. It's in West Brom's hands, 2 wins and it's done, but 1 point, breathing down the neck, stubborn Huddersfield defence on it's Friday night, isn't it? They could get a 0-0 Huddersfield. You never know. Mike says it'd be good for us if Preston can get a result, but more important, exactly. I mean, if we bring the table up, irrespective of what Brentford do tonight, I think it's 4 points, isn't it? Basically, Brentford's maximum upside is 87. There, that Leeds are going to get the 4 points across, especially given they're across 3 games to do it. So Oliver says squeaky bum time for us. Good result. George says even if Brentford draw today, we still need 2 wins because of goal difference. Absolutely, you do. Owen points out as well, good point this, if Forest win today, that's playoffs confirmed. And I mean, look, we've all known for a while it's 6th place that's been the only playoff place that's been up for grabs. But it's kind of nice to know when things mathematically are starting to squeak out, aren't they? I mean, we pretty much know now what the top 3 is going to be, but that can sort of mathematically be sorted, can't it? Adam, another Bees win, Huddersfield draw with West Brom and game on. I agree with that. That scenario is plausible, especially given the clean sheets that Huddersfield have been keeping and how defensively they seem to be playing. Honestly, think it's a case of whether Lady Fortune decides to kick Brentford in the nuts. They really are lethal. When my heart says 2-2, my head says 3-1. Owen says, come on, Brentford. Dom, although I'd love a Preston win or draw, can't really see past the Brentford win tonight, but you never know. That's pretty much precisely my take on it. Ellis says 1-0 Preston, 90th minute. I'm a Leeds fan. The last bit's revealing, isn't it? Can you do a watch along, please? Because some people can't watch it. Do you know, I'm planning on the last day of the season, it'll probably be a relegation watch along by that point, to do, maybe we'll go from 6:30 or something. Adam, thank you, sir. Adam, supporting via Super Chat. I have a nice bottle of Rioja ready to go later. I'm going to drink to you, Adam Riley. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you too want to support the channel, you can do so via Super Chat like Adam's done. Subscribe on Patreon. Hit like, comment, subscribe to help me reach 10,000 subscribers. And tomorrow is my last day of paid work, and then I don't have a job, god damn it. So we're working so hard on here. I've got lists and lists of what needs to be done on the channel to keep things ticking over, but I really need the help of you guys, and I thank people like Adam very much for the support. 1-1 says Marco. Kieran says, come on, Preston. Brendan just says, hello. Hi, Brendan. JRM says, Preston also need to win. Could cause an upset today. Remember, we can just caveat everything and cover our backsides here by saying it's the championship, isn't it? Alex Neil Masterclass here says, Stu, 0-0. S Housing 3 draws in 6. There we go. Jason says, I will shed a tear if Preston win or draw. And Mags, 2 Leeds fans here. Oh, Jason and Mags. Hi, guys. App says it ends this evening. Please. How many years is it now? Leeds, 16? I think we're looking at a 5-0 or a 1-1. Remember, Lana is the master of predictions after forecasting Ben Hamer's mistake, although the Derby fans in the chat didn't think that was sticking your neck out too much. But to have it within 5 minutes, Stu says, Ben Rama will have sore ankles. Are they double marking him? There are 3 fullbacks in the back 4. You never know. The only issue with such a fluid team like Brentford is there really that much point man marking? Because they move around so much, especially the 2 midfielders other than Norgard. Who is it tonight? Marcondes and Jensen, they'll rotate. The entire front 3 will just rotate. What's the point in man marking them? They're too fluid, aren't they? Pastor says, all Preston, aren't we? Noel is here. Is he a nervous Birmingham fan tonight? Can't see anything other than a Brentford win with the role they're on and the incentive of possible automatic 3-1. He said, so you're kind of agreeing with me, Noel, because I said Brentford by 2. We are closing in on kickoff here. We'll do a few more comments. We speak about Brentford as if they're invincible. They're on a great run, but surely we're overrating them. Michael, you know my hatred for the word overrating them. I think anybody who says Brentford are on a brilliant run would be telling the truth. Anyone who says Brentford are invincible, yes, would be overrating them because no one is invincible. It's the championship. And in any football match, you can have Man City versus Ipswich, and Man City can get a player sent off in the first minute, and okay, they'd still win, wouldn't they? But no, I think people have been quite balanced with Brentford. I think it's very fair to say they're an excellent side, and they're probably at the moment on a par with Leeds and West Brom, but they haven't put the points on the board particularly early in the season. So no, I don't think I haven't seen a gross overweighting of them. No, the only Preston supporters are reasonably Preston and panicky Leeds supporters. Right, guys, the players are coming out. I can see a couple of super chats in here. Let me just read this one. Bauer, Story, Hughes are a free. Fisher and Rabbitier's wingback. Thank you, Michael. In which case, Infogol may be right. Sorry, I'm just trying to find this super chat here. Thank you very much, Colin, for the super chat. I can see Tom Barkhausen coming up there. So we all know the plan. Oh, Wolf, you've given me a super chat and I can't find it, sir. Thank you, Wolf, as well. If I click on it, does it come up? Oh, I really want to bring it up now. Just trying to find. Oh, there you go. Wolf as well. Thank you. 3 super chats in this. Absolutely brilliant support. Thank you so much. Let me just throw this up to say we will be back at halftime about 5:50. So come and join me then. The conceived wisdom, if there is such a thing, is that this is going to be a home win. But again, here comes my caveat for the 20th time. This is the championship, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I will be back at halftime. Thank you all for your participation here. It's been fantastic. Let's see you all at halftime, indeed. And enjoy the game. It is Brentford versus Preston. And please, everybody, have a look at that Preston team shape just so we can figure out exactly what the hell Alex Neil is up to tonight. Is it as defensive as we think it might be? Right, thank you for watching. Brentford lined up in the tunnel. There is Marcondes. Where is the main man? Ben Rama. I think he's on his way. Let's see you at halftime. Thank you for watching. Over and out. 5:50 here.